Show me your world, Chris.
Well, I thought we'd start with Criterion Museum.
Great.
Dear Mum, Yorkshire is lovely, not like you said at all. They can smile, and they do sell my pasta sauce. The caravan bed is quite short, but Chris is a sensitive lover. Hope you can be happy for me. Love, Tina.
Yeah, good girl.
You are going to pick that up.
I didn't do that.
If you don't pick up this excrement immediately, then I'm going to have to inform the National Trust.
Report that to the National Trust, mate.
I don't want this to ruin our holiday.
Get in.
Never thought about murdering innocent people before.
He's not a person, Tina. He's a Daily Mail reader. Say one word and it's...
I get it, it's just thinking outside the box.
The police are pursuing a ginger-faced man and an angry woman.
Sit! You're a liability. You're just like your mother.
Has it gone wrong?
Yeah, a bit.
You didn't let him see you do number twos, did you, Tina?
We both said what a nice couple we thought you were. Oh, I love her.
I can fly!
Everyone else seems to find it so easy to express themselves. I mean, even you've got your knitting. Have you had a nice holiday?
Yeah, had a brilliant holiday.
Fuck you!
Hello everyone, welcome to the Eurogamer Developer Sessions. Before we begin, polite request, we're live streaming this on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Eurogamer. So we'd appreciate it if you didn't video this session yourselves. And with that, I'd just like to introduce our speakers, Hamish Young and Matt Webster from Criterion Games.
Thanks, Rich. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt. That's Hamish. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having us here at Eurogamer. We're going to be taking you through Need for Speed Most Wanted. But before we get started, I just actually want to run a trailer.
We are unrestricted by rules.
We are challenged by the unexpected.
Most of all, it's about beating your friends.
So, Need for Speed Most Wanted. So this is our second Need for Speed game after 2010's Hot Pursuit. So as you know, we are previously known for our Burnout titles. But when we started getting involved with the Need for Speed franchise, it meant a lot to each and every one of us at Criterion, because we'd all kind of grown up with Need for Speed in many ways, like many people do when they come to games. There's always a Need for Speed game in and around. It's one of the longest running franchises. So with Hot Pursuit, we took the series back to its roots. And for us, in that particular game, it meant exotic cars and epic drives and the cops. And when we got done with that game, we looked at where we wanted to go next. We knew we wanted to do another Need for Speed game. And we looked at that entire history, as I mentioned, of Need for Speed. And we zeroed in on one we loved. And what we loved most about it was the premise. To be most wanted is a really powerful premise for a game. It's one that resonates as loudly now as it did back in 2005. But we don't make sequels to other people's games. And if you followed our recent history, you'll know that our studio philosophy is about fun, accessible, engaging, social games that are centered around friends. So for us, our take on Most Wanted is an open-world driving game where players race, chase, and explore and compete to be most wanted amongst their friends. And the key word there is open world. And one of the big things that we realized as we were making this game was we're making Need for Speed games to shake it up, to breathe new life into the series. And the word open world in and of itself means a lot to us. But in many open world games, the game itself, the world might well be open, but the game itself isn't open. So we started with a question of, why can't I drive every car in the game whenever I want? And the only true answer to that question is because 20 years of gaming convention says that you can't, right? So we wanted to change that convention. We wanted to throw that one out of the window and start again. An open world game demands an open game structure. So right from the very start of the game, pretty much all of our cars are available in the world for you to discover. Now we have a saying, if you can find it, you can drive it. And that's a massive change. It's one that rewards the exploration and discovery of these games. And it's one that in this generation that we live in, which is kind of the right now generation, it means that you can get your hands on the car that you dreamed of if you can find it. And that's a massive difference for our gameplay experience as well as gamers, because apart from the very start of the game, once we finish with the introduction to the game, pretty much all of you will have a unique experience after that point. It's a really, really powerful premise for us. So you don't have any more grinding through 1, 2, 4, 6 hours worth of gameplay to get to the car on the box, let's say. And we think that's a really important shift for us. As I said, we're on the series to shake it up, and we think this is very exciting for us because it delivers a new way to play driving games for what is becoming a new generation of players. So a little bit of detail before we get into the software demonstration. So each one of the cars that you find, because I know you're all thinking about, well, how is that going to work? It's kind of an interesting challenge in and of itself. Each of the cars has got gameplay attached to it. You can race them, you can upgrade them, and customize them with mods and progress. And then there's the most wanted cars that are your anchor points through your progression. So there's 10 cars, 10 most wanted cars in Fairhaven that you have to earn the right to be able to take on and then beat. So those are the anchor points to the progression, but everything else is open from there. So the other thing that we are known for, particularly after 2010's Hot Pursuit, is something that we call Autolog. So for those of you that are aware, it's a very powerful social connection system. Autolog constantly tracks what players are doing in the game and then compares them automatically with their friends and then generates gameplay recommendations out of the results of those comparisons. And it was really successful in Hot Pursuit, but it was our first shot. In Hot Pursuit, Autolog kind of only ever worked one event at a time. And it was never, you kind of had to come out of the game to be able to experience it. Now, with what we call Autolog 2, it's continually tracking pretty much everything that you're doing in those games and then injecting the results of those comparisons directly into the heart of your game. So if you want to pick up a recommendation or see who's fastest on a particular race event, you just pull up to the race start and Autolog's going to show you. As I said, it's not just on races as it was in Hot Pursuit. We have speed cameras around the city that you can compete to see who's fastest on. So you want to see who's best for a particular speed camera, just pull up to it and Autolog shows you. And what better way of telling which of your friends has jumped the furthest through one of our billboards? We put their face on it. Believe me, there's no better way than beating a friend than throwing your Porsche right through their face. It's really, really compelling. So the point to that is that we're beginning to these machines have been connected for a very long time. We all live connected lives. We expect to have these connections being made automatically for us. And so we've invested a huge amount of time and effort in doing that to create what is perhaps more a social game than some of the ones that actually term social games, but more importantly, actively engaging players by putting the results of those comparisons directly into the heart of the game. And it's a truly social game that really engages players unlike any other. So everything you do in Most Wanted earns you SP, or speed points, and that's what drives the competition to be most wanted amongst your friends. It also drives the competition in order for you to unlock those the access to the most wanted races. We've recently talked about a new feature for Autolog. It's something that we call Cloud Compete. And that's because we're launching this game on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and PC and Vita. There's also an iOS, an Android counterpart on its way. All of those machines are also, you can earn SP on all of those machines, and Cloud Compete aggregates that score together. So for the first time, I can be leveling up in multiplayer when I'm away from the sofa playing the Android game, or I can be moving up the most wanted list when I'm traveling to work. So we're really beginning to bring those connected experience together in a way that is sensible and makes sense for them, but it's absolutely connected in the way in which we think players are demanding these days. And our last main area is something we're redefining multiplayer. So I think in the past, Need for Speed has been particularly underserved in its multiplayer experience, and we're changing that. We've really gone to town on it this year. We have a very deep and rewarding multiplayer progression as a counterpart to the single-player experience. Players get to race, obviously. We have races. We have something that we call speed tests, team races, and challenges. And it's a very varied list. And that's being automatically served up to you in something we call a speed list. Think of a playlist. This is a speed list. 5 events automatically served up to you in a really compelling, dynamic way inside the open world. We always want to keep you behind the wheel of the car as much as we possibly can. So it's a very deep and rewarding structure. As you progress up through your speed points, through your speed levels, you'll be earning mods and you'll be able to upgrade your car and change its capabilities. So you're customizing the car's capability as opposed to its aesthetic look. As I said, races, speed tests, speed races, and challenges form an integral part of this experience. And it's also cool because the perhaps more public game experience is automatically served for you. In private games, you can edit your own speed lists and serve them up to your friends. And what's also cool is just completing that circle of speed points is that those speed points that you earn in the multiplayer experience are also driving your progression in single player as well. So it's like this ubiquitous scoring system that's constantly pushing you forward, irrespective of what part of the game you might necessarily be playing. And it's awesome. It's here. Come play at the show. We've got, I think, 4-player experiences. On console, we're at 8, and on PC, we're up to 12 players. It really is a multiplayer experience unlike you've ever seen in Need for Speed, and actually the driving category as a whole. So, enough talk. Time to drive. So I'm going to be talking over this demonstration. It's very, very difficult to give you a demonstration of an open world game, but we're going to give it a go. So Hamish, my glamorous assistant, is behind the wheels of this beautiful yellow 991 911. And the first thing to do is pulls up to a car. And how do you jack it? You press a button and off you go. So we switch your cars and we mark it on the map for you so that you can come and find it for you come and find it again. And all of the systems that I'm going to start showing to you are active all the time. So if Hamish there's my beautiful face from a long time ago. Hamish clearly wants to try and take me on. So the thing about billboards, you might need a bigger run-up, Hamish, if you want to beat me on that. So there's competition around every corner. We have the speed cameras, which are tracking your speed through them. We've got the billboards, which track how far you jump through them. Races obviously track your fastest time. And then we have some other discoverables, such as security gates as well, which reward players for their discovery. And Autolog is running on each of those. Autolog's running on the tracking of how many cars you found as well. And this is really cool, right? Because we know that in driving games, we've all got someone on our friends list who is just like the Stig. There's a particular guy in the office called Matt Follett, Professor Follett. He just destroys everyone's time. But here I've got different ways that I can compete with Matt. I can, maybe I can take it now. I'm going to start putting my face on the billboards. He may be faster than me in the races, but he's going to have my ugly mug looking down at him around the city. So as Hamish is rearranging the front end of that Mitsubishi, we'll take a tour around Fairhaven. So Fairhaven, we've got an open world. The entire world is open, as well as the game structure. So we're not locking off bits of it. We're not making the unlocking of the world a part of the gameplay progression. It's all available right from the very start. We're in the nighttime phase here. So a full day and night cycle is available, and you can see that some of the billboards actually that haven't been collected. So BioWare, EA Sports, Visceral, DICE, we've got their signage up there, and the idea is to smash those things down and collect the billboards. So that's how you know when you haven't collected a particular billboard. Actually, do you want to spin it around, Hamish, and go back and review that speed camera? Actually, jack into that. You got a lovely car, just a very serendipitous turn there. So these beautiful cars that normally you would have to play for hours and hours and hours, just go and find them. As we introduce the car to you, we tell you what mods it's got on it. We also will throw up the races that are available. So one of the things that we've reprised from Paradise is a concept called Easy Drive. So Easy Drive is the way that you do all of your gameplay selections. We want to keep players behind the car as much as we can, and Easy Drive is the way for us to do that. It's also it's dangerous. It's a bit like texting and driving, but hey, it's Criterion, right? We love that sort of thing as well. We think it's very much in our nature to take something beautiful and smash it up. So Hamish can use Easy Drive which is fired up from the D-pad to make a selection. So each of the cars has races attached to it. Those races are can be when those races are won, you'll earn mods for those particular cars. So even nitrous. You'll go and attach to your car. You might want to go and get some off-road cars. That's quite a low-slung exotic. That won't perform very well on the off-road surfaces. So we've made a big change to our handling systems. Clearly, Criterion is known for very accessible car handling, and that remains the case. There's another... are you going to take me on, are you, Hamish? Okay. Yeah. So that's another example of where Autolog is injected into the world. So we want, it's an open world. We want to reward that discovery. It doesn't make any sense for us to pull you away from that to see the results of your comparisons amongst your friends. This is one of the first races in the game. Again, we're trying to break a few conventions here in terms of what we're putting on the screen and how. But again, all of those systems, even though you're in a race, the speed cameras, the billboards, the security gates, the collection systems are still active right now. Actually, Hamish, do you want to leave this event and we'll go and do something else? So with Easy Drive, you just leave the event and the race will then blend away and you can go off and do something else. So it's just trying to keep you behind the car, try and keep the systems as seamless as possible and responding to when you want them to work. Actually, fire up Cold Burn, and we'll try a high-speed run down to another part of the race. Oh look, there's a car in there. It's distraction gameplay that we call it. So you see a billboard with someone's face on it. I might be doing a race. Oh, I want to go and get that. Or hey, look, there's a car over here. This is what we think is really important about an open world: is to have this freedom and variety available to the player, and to have the game respond to their choices. For them changing their mind on something to do as and when they make that selection. So we haven't come across many of them just yet, but the Fairhaven Police Department are an ever-present character in the city, and they are there to try and enforce the rightful order in the world, which clearly we don't want to do. So if you come past one of the cops, you'll get into a chase. If you crash into them, that's going to form a chase as well. But they're there and they will follow you wherever you can go. So you'll see a little bit as we continue this demo. But we've opened this world. It's not just about the road network itself; it's the off-road areas as well. And the cops will follow you there too. So wherever you think you might be smart and getting away, that's you using your knowledge of. Oh, here we go. We're in a chase right now. Actually, it's quite quick. You're too fast for them, Hamish. So the cops can be lost very easily at heat level 1, but you'll earn more speed points when you start taking them on. So the length of time you spend in the pursuit, obviously beating up on the cops is going to escalate your heat levels, and they'll start to bring more faster cars, tougher vehicles, roadblocks and spike strips to the chase. So that the pursuits are another great way for you to be earning speed points, and as you escalate and to actually secure those pursuit points, you need to go get yourself into a great hiding spot and get yourself into a cooldown. So even though Hamish is driving, he's found his way to this event. So even as he's on the way, he's earning milestone rewards. He's progressing up through the speed walls on particular speed cameras, let's say. All of those systems are in place at any point in time, so players are really getting, the game can really respond to what they want to do when they choose to do it. So let's run through this event. This is called Cold Burn. See if you can beat my time, Hamish.
Crazy like me. So I'm for thrills.
So he's nowhere near my best time on that particular run, but he wins mods that can then be attached to the car. So actually, let's throw some of those mods on because they're very easy. So at the end of the race, when you win them, you can choose to flick them on straight away, or you can just use Easy Drive to, on the fly, flick those mods on. And what's awesome, for those of you that like the Kinect, is actually this will probably be a place where the Kinect is faster than the controller, because we've got some shortcut commands if you're running the Kinect, and you can call into the game and flick your track tyres to off-road tyres for when the surfaces change during an actual race. So we fully expect those very hardcore racers to be able to optimize their racing by flicking the mods on the fly. That'll be a neat challenge. So actually, while we're in this area, Hamish, let's take us on the tour of some of the areas that are perhaps off the beaten track. So as I said, the road network is just the start, and clearly that needs to be formed in such a way it suits the way that we like our cars to handle, which in this case is, our goal with handling is to put a smile on the player's face inside the first minute, yeah? These cars are set up for you to be able to drive them how you think you can drive. But that's very different from how they might drive in real life. So we want players to feel like they can get the back end of this Porsche out around a corner at 150 miles an hour with a great big smile on their face, but it also needs to be able to respond at low speed as well. And so that's the challenge that we gave ourselves with this particular open world. And as you can see, it's not just the road network, it's wider than the road network, it's in, out, through, on top of buildings as well. That all comes into play, particularly in pursuits when you're trying to shake off perhaps a heat level 6 pursuit. Use your knowledge of the world in order to do so. And some of our multiplayer. Once you get into the multiplayer, an hour in multiplayer will take you on a journey of the world that you'll have never, just wouldn't have come through if you, unless you were taken on that. So it's the open world. We learned a huge amount on in Burnout Paradise, and we learned a huge amount through Hot Pursuit in terms of how players play a game and how there's the competition, the friendly competition is automatically generated for you by having your friends integrated tightly into your game, really drives the enjoyment levels. So all of these areas you see are much, we've built a huge amount, more than we've ever done before. This is what an open world really means for us, I can go anywhere, and the places where I expect to be able to go, I can go. So I think we're running about up to our limit. So I think we'll call an end to the demo there, Hamish. We're going to run one more trailer, and then we're going to go and take some questions.
Peggy 7.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Rich.
Okay, do we have any questions? There's people wondering about
got any
the
mics?
microphones, which I cannot see because of the lights.
Oh, mate, let's look at the mechanical mods such as your nitrous engine tuning and them. So what about the visual mods that we're going to be getting? Is it returning to the good old days of Underground?
Yeah, Yeah, so it's for us. It's just you customize and the capability of the car as opposed to its aesthetics. So the only customization you get is paint color. There's a guy next to you. You may as well be opportunistic and give the mic to him.
The game looks absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Still play Hot Pursuit regularly. I love Criterion games, but I just would like to know how many players online is the Vita version going to support?
4. So Vita's at 4. The Vita is exactly the same as you saw there. The full open world, same number of cars, the full experience, but just 4 cars online. So different. We've done a hell of a job on Vita. The team have done just a fabulous job compressing that whole experience into your hand. And the way it connects to, obviously, to Autolog, you get those great features as well. So I think particularly the async play is going to be really powerful on that device. We need some mics down at the front if possible. There's quite a few over here. Sorry, hi, there's someone standing up there. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you? Oh, cool. Firstly, I just want to say I think Criterion pretty much make the most fun racing games in the business.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so obviously this isn't the first Need for Speed game with the subtitle Most Wanted, so I was wondering, will Razor Callahan appear, and will there be unlockable FMV sequences?
I think if you want to see Razor again, you're going to have to go and dig out your old copy of Most Wanted, unfortunately. I can always type Razor onto your license tag, because we've got customizable license tags online, so if you really believe that he's the hero that you wanted him to be, then you can pay homage to him by sticking him on your license tag.
But if you, when you drive around the world, you may see some references to various things if you drive around. So,
yeah.
Hi, thank you.
Hello.
You just answered one question: customizable number plates. Thank you. Noticed that. Your cloud, what did you call it?
Cloud Compete.
Cloud Compete. Yeah. If I have friends on PS3 and I'm on my Xbox, will I see their times in my game?
No, unfortunately, that's, hey, I wish that were true. Unfortunately, there's, a number of reasons why that can't be true. But we're just using, the fact that we can, you can still have, that SP competition with friends on different devices.
All right, thank you.
Do you want to hand that mic across here? Yeah, hi.
I had a quick question about the multiplayer.
Yes.
You mentioned there would be mods that you could unlock to improve your car. Will there be either balancing or matchmaking built in so the players with the best cars don't win every race?
No, not really, because the way that we like to do it, because it's such a different experience online. Go and play it down on the show floor, because you'll get quite a different experience. The SP that you earn, the actual progression system online is slightly different to single player. Do you want to describe how it works?
Yeah, I mean, I can describe quite simply. Obviously we've got lots of different surfaces. We've got kind of everything from urban to long sweeping corners. So whilst you may have the fastest car, it's not going to be good at everything. And actually, given the variety of gameplay that we've got online, actually switching between mods and cars actually is kind of, if you want to do the best, then that's actually the best way to do it. So actually, because we mix up the gameplay quite a lot, it isn't just the person with the fastest car wins. So we've really tried to make the game as varied as possible, and I think you'll see that when you play the software.
Yeah. There's some
and the depth there that
there's some awesome
you.
examples. Everyone thinks, I mean, some older driving games, you just think, oh, everyone just plays the game in one car, whether it be the F1 car in GT or, the Ferrari in PGR or whatever. There's always a one best car. That's not going to be true here. The Koenigsegg's a very fast car. The Veyron's a very fast car. Off-road, they suck. And some other cars are a lot better than them. And lots of our races take place on a huge variety of surfaces. And it's not just races as well. Those cars, generally those exotics are pretty fragile, shall we say. Yeah. So, we've got a Ford F-150 Raptor, close to 4 tons, 550 brake horsepower. There's only one winner in that battle.
Hello.
Hi.
Big fan of Criterion, but played all the burn-up games and love what you did with Hot Pursuit. Got a quick question. I noticed you were doing some testing with different controller schemes for Burnout Paradise. Has any of that made into Most Wanted at all?
Oh, were you talking about the guitar, the guitar controller?
Yes.
No. There's pretty much only one person that could play the game on that controller, and that was, and he worked for us. Actually, we are supporting the Move wheel on PlayStation. But we're just, we'll support the wheels. We've got, a whole raft of wheel support in the game. Personally, I can't get away from using the sticks.
But we have definitely this time around really done a bunch of work actually on making the wheels much more intuitive. So the car handling is actually a really good experience, obviously with the wheel as well as with the pad. But yeah, we try and support as much as we can, and
that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah,
we're not sure the guitar controller makes sense anymore.
Every now and again, someone asks for a fishing rod controller or something. Who's going to use it? But anyway.
Yeah.
In Seacrest County and obviously in Paradise, there was a lot of emphasis on kind of the character of actually being the city. Lots of environments from being in the mountains. Obviously, you're right down to the beach in Paradise. How are you kind of using the environments to show different scenes of this new city? And when can I download a DeLorean?
Well, the variety is really important to us. So you saw a little bit there. It's not, as we said, it's not just the road surfaces itself, it's everything off there. So the buildings come into play, the big open areas come into play in particular, and they're very important to us. Those things are great for play variety, but they're also brilliant ways for us to talk about our experiences. Hey, I'll go meet you downtown, I'll go meet you down, in the bridges. Or as people begin to build a mental map, they'll begin to talk in a way, and that's why we name things, and that's why we put some character into the city, so you'll be able to at least use it as some geographical location. I mean, it isn't. I'm terrible at map reading. I'm terrible at navigation. It's not. The game isn't about that. But the fact we can have a conversation about, hey, get down to the beach, or down to the dock area or the storage yards, then you'll know where I am just because I can. You can build that mental picture.
But also, we only showed kind of a small section of the world there. I mean, there's a lot of variety in terms of long sweeping bends, roads. There's a kind of mountains, kind of cliff section. So there's a bunch of stuff that we didn't show. But I think people will be surprised by how much variety of gameplay that there is in that.
We'll take one more. This gentleman at the back's had his hand up for eons. Oh, sorry. Sorry, well, you're holding, so I guess you're owning.
Possession's 9/10 of the
There you are.
I've got a car question for you. How does the office decide what goes in and what gets in? And what are your favourite cars in the game?
Well, it varies from having a cool wall to the very hardcore car guys, putting some mental cars in the game, and us going, what? But we've got the widest range, I think, than in any other Need for Speed game. So down, you saw the Caterham, some of the track cars, the back mono, all the way through the exotics. There's a Land Rover Evoque in the game. There's the Koenigsegg Agera R, up to the F-150 Raptor, which is an absolute monster. So it's the broadest range, and the reason why is because the pure experience is just so much fun. So, and we know that people have very different tastes in vehicles. In a funny kind of way, it's very similar to sports games. We all have our favourites. I'm a big BMW fan, so how about you, Hamish?
Yeah, well, there's quite a lot of arguments in the office about which is the best car, what kind of cars they prefer. I think we actually have a really good relationship with the manufacturers, and they often come along and say, yeah, next year we're going to build this. Do you want it in the game? And we're like, yes, please. So
no, thank you.
or doesn't quite fit. So we have a lot of discussion, actually, over a long period of time. And as Matt reads this, the variety is really important to us. In Hot Pursuit, we had a situation where we had lots of Lamborghinis that were quite similar. This time around, we've gone for a real kind of breadth. So, you don't have 50 Lamborghini Gallardos, you have one. But that one is awesome, and it plays differently from all the other cars in the game. So we really tried to make sure that the cars were as unique as possible and gave you a different way to play the game. And I think that's really key. So
I think we're out of time. I just want to say thanks to you guys, and big round of applause, please.
Thank you.